Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I don't have any questions of the witnesses because the truth is I don't know how I'm going to vote on XM. I'm leaning towards voting for it mostly because of competitive reasons, as I've said many times. Every other country we compete with has one. Therefore, we should have one. That doesn't mean everything you've done is wonderful. It doesn't mean I agree with every loan. It doesn't mean there shouldn't be reform. I came over because as I was watching this, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have had something else on. But as I was watching this hearing, I got to be honest, the people that are arguing against you the most vociferously, not all of them, but many of them are losing the argument because they turn it into a personal attack as a political basis. This is an important substantive issue, one that I am open to discussing, one that I'm certainly open to amending, and yet all I hear is, well, 100 years ago somebody did this and somebody said that and somebody voted this way and somebody changed their mind. God forbid an elected official ever changes their mind on an important and complicated issue like the Ex-Im Bank. God forbid any of you ever change your mind. And by the way, if you really want to win the issue, you really need to change some minds because you lost the Republican conference in 2012 when we voted for it. 147 Republicans voted to reauthorize the Ex-Im. Only 93 voted against it. If you want to change our minds, you really got to do a little bit better than attacking the president and attacking people who did change their minds. You really got to stick to the subject matter. And I respect people that disagree with me. But I got to tell you, I completely lose respect. I lose interest on the fact, oh, you changed your mind. I get the whole list of names of the Republican side who voted for it in 2012, many of whom are here right this very minute. Now, you may change your mind. If you do, God bless you. But if you ever change your mind on anything else and you keep this nonsense up, I guarantee you I'll be keeping score. And we'll all get down in the gutter and we'll all get down in the street and call each other names and accomplish nothing. This is an important, difficult issue that reasonable people can disagree on. And honestly, I appreciate some of the things, even some of the things I don't agree with. Okay. But I came to ask my colleagues to stop the nonsense. If you really don't like the Ex-Im Bank because you really think it's corporate welfare and bad for America, fine. Argue to win the hearts and minds of the American people and your colleagues, whom you lost in 2012. You want some people to change their minds. How are you going to get people to change their minds when you constantly say anyone who changes their mind is somehow inherently wrong and evil? Then you're going to lose again based on your own Republican conference. Almost all the people that voted in this in 2012 are still here. So that's what I came to say. I was actually thinking about reading out names, but I don't want to denigrate down to that nonsense. I will, and I think you all know I can if I want to. But on this issue, I'd really rather hear substantive facts, important questions. I think the last series of questions were pretty good. They raised some serious issues. Now, I got to be honest, just because there's been some problems in the past, I'm not interested in shutting something down, because if that's the case, we better shut down the DOD. They've had people steal money. My God almighty. We should shut down the entire Defense Department because somebody stole money. The entire Agricultural Department because somebody once took a loan that they shouldn't have gotten. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't raise the issue, but that doesn't go to the basis of whether we need to open or close the bank. That might open up some discussion about reforms, and I'm more than interested in hearing it. I've actually told, who was it, Delta, that's so opposed to this. I've also told them, look, you raised some good issues. Let's talk about how we deal with the issues you raise. But I don't get that. All I get is personal attacks, political attacks, which I'm pretty good at. But on this one, if you really think you're going to win elections, you're going to change people's minds, you're going to win the issue, you're going to have to explain to me how the very people you need to change their minds, you're calling them names. With that, Mr. Chairman, I apologize for not asking any questions of the witnesses, but I look forward to going back to my office, turning the TV back on, and learning something. I hope, and if not, I'll just change the channel like the rest of America. With that, I yield back.